Hopefully we get some MLB The Show 23 news in the coming days, but until then, here's some players that we could see on the cover. So let's start out with some less likely options. One of those guys is Smokey Bats. He's won multiple World Series, he's won an MVP, and he's on the biggest market in baseball. Everybody loves Smokey Bats. So I think he's in the consideration, but over the past 3 years, MLB The Show has kind of done a theme where they've taken the most exciting, most marketable player in baseball and put him on the cover. We had Javi Baez in 2020, Fernando Tatis in 21, and Ohtani last year. While I believe Mookie Betts is marketable, he doesn't bring the same kind of energy that those other players did. Still, this would be a pretty sick cover. So this next player, I've seen no cover concepts for him. He's not even talked about in consideration, I feel like, among the MLB community. But I think it's time to get Mike Trout on the cover of MLB The Show. I get why they don't. Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, but he is not marketable for a big name player at all. I mean, he's not even the most marketable player on his own team. He very much stays to himself, doesn't talk a lot of shit, and I don't think he really likes being under the spotlight. He just seems very calm and collected, and he plays on the Angels. While they're not like a small market by any means, they're nothing big. Plus, they never make the playoffs, so he's never in the national spotlight on national TV. Dude, I want Mike Trout in the playoffs so bad. I would also love if he was on the cover of the game. Just, I can't see it. There are more realistic options that we're gonna go over. Now, let's talk about some of the options that I think have a legit possibility. While I think this is still unlikely, I just can't help but thinking that it's a great time to do it. Put Aaron Judge on the cover of MLB The Show 23. He is coming off one of the best offensive seasons we've ever seen, at least until Barry Bonds. Just signed a mega deal with the Yankees, like the Dodgers. They're one of the biggest markets in baseball. Everybody knows who he is. He's gonna sell a ton of copies of the game because the Yankees have an insane fan base. And you can argue he's one of the top 3 players in all of baseball. The reason why he might not be is he was just on the cover of MLB The Show 18. That wasn't that long ago. That was like 5 years ago. I'm unsure if they've ever double dipped in the cover athlete before, but if they ever want to, now would be the perfect time to do it. And I mean, the guy was in the national spotlight for like the last 2 months of the season last year. I don't know, I'm having a tough time seeing it, but at the same time I could also see it. What if they decide to shock the world with the cover and for the first time ever put a pitcher on the game? Who do you think it would be? It'd have to be one of the best pitchers in the game, right? You got Corbin Burns, Sandy Alcantara just won Cy Young, but what about Jacob deGrom? Yes, this isn't an MLB The Show 22 cover. He'd obviously be in a Rangers uniform. And while I think this is still unlikely to do, if they ever were to do a pitcher, Jacob deGrom would be the perfect choice, but I'm not going to go too much into this. These next 4 players, I think all have a legit possibility to be on the cover, and it wouldn't surprise me to see any of them. Another MLB The Show 22 cover, but Ronald Acuna makes perfect sense. He's one of the best young superstars in all of baseball. He fits the mold that they've done similarly for the past 3 years, which is to have some of the best players in baseball who bring a ton of energy, are very marketable, and show their emotions on the field, like Javi, Tatis, and Ohtani all do. Because when you're talking about some of the best young stars in baseball, Acuna has to be towards the top of that list. He makes baseball fun. He's always staring down home runs, flipping bats. He's not scared to talk shit. He is great for the young generation of baseball, but the older generation probably hates it. But he definitely fits the mold of what they've done in the past. I think Acuna is more likely than this one, but for some reason, I just have a weird feeling that we could see Jazz Chisholm on the cover. He was at the SDS studios during the season when they were in San Diego. A lot of people are speculating that could have been like a meet and greet, a cover athlete shoot, something along those lines. He's very marketable, doing the Euro step to home plate after home runs, big time personality, and everybody loves him. Plus, he already has an established relationship with SDS. But if we're talking about why he probably won't be on the cover, he played what, 70 games last year? He just doesn't have enough MLB experience to justify putting him on the cover of the game. Plus, he's on the Marlins. They don't exactly have a lot of fans. Like, I could probably fit all their fans in my apartment. It's just not gonna cut it. They're not gonna sell copies of a game. Remember last year when this picture went viral and everybody thought it was legit? One guy completely pranked the entire MLB community. Actually, pretty funny, props to him. But I do think that's a realistic option. The only legend we've ever gotten on the MLB The Show cover was Ken Griffey Jr. in 2017. In order to do that, I feel like you need a big name that every single person knows. And Derek Jeter's one of those guys. If they ever get his rights, which they've been hinting at him for 2 years now, I'm honestly surprised we haven't got him yet, but I think he's got to come out this year, next year, sometime soon. But if they ever did get his rights, and you ever do want to put a legend back on the cover for the deluxe edition, Derek Jeter's probably the best bet in baseball. Every person knows who he is. Casual fans know who he is. People who don't even like baseball know the name Derek Jeter. He was the captain for the New York Yankees, one of the biggest markets in baseball. So if they ever decide to put a legend on the cover of the game, Derek Jeter's him. So I do think think Derek Jeter has a good shot at being at the cover this year because I really think he's going to be in the game. So this is who I think is going to be on the cover. You know how everybody thought it was going to be Ohtani going into the year, but they couldn't like 100% confirm? They just have like a gut feeling it's going to be Ohtani. That's kind of how it is for this year too. If you think of one player in all of baseball that fits the mold they've done the previous 3 years, which is insanely marketable, big time personality, one of the best players in all of baseball, and it's just great for the game because he brings a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. It's J-Rod, it's Julio Rodriguez. The guy's coming off an insane rookie year. Everybody loves him, brings big time energy. He's one of the most fun players in baseball to watch. He's on a team that a lot of people, well, they may not have an insane fan base like the Dodgers, the Yankees, the Cubs, anything like that. A lot of people want to see the Mariners succeed, a lot of it because of this guy, and they've been bad for so long. So I think if there's betting odds as to who would be on the cover of MLB The Show 23, which, let's face it, there probably is. There's betting odds for everything nowadays. I think J-Rod's a safe bet. I really can't think of a reason why he wouldn't be on the cover or they wouldn't want him on the cover unless he personally didn't want to. Which, I mean, shit, 21-year-old, you come like, hey, I want you to be the cover of the most popular baseball game in the world. I can't see him turning that down. But let me know what you guys think. Who is your prediction for who's going to be on the cover of MLB The Show 23? Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.